Okay, guys, I just want to share something here with you real quick. Uh, let's see. I'm getting ready to upload. I'm getting ready to upload about a 3-hour video that shows everybody all the stuff associated with the first container that ended up in Grand Junction on at 154 Rainbow Drive at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. Now remember, the name Casimir, it means proclamation of peace. And you know what? I'll show you in a minute just this impossibility of this. You know what? Let's just do it right now. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. The first container, after all the supernatural events that happened surrounding it, it supernaturally ended up at an address that's the corner of a street called Casimir and Rainbow. It's at 154 Rainbow Drive. The Lord told me, Jonathan, look up the meaning of one in the Bible, the biblical meaning of the number one, which I did. So here we go. The biblical meaning of number one, the Bible numerology code, the number one is of great significance. Be it any language, it always stands for unity. In the Bible, it is written, Hear, O Israel, for the Lord thy God is one. Thus, number one is the number of the God of the Bible that denies the existence of another God. And so, the number one, that's what it means. And that's what the Lord told me to look up, that the address where the container went was significant. Now, remember, it's on Rainbow Drive. Well, the container that went up there to Rainbow Drive, it has a table in it that has the Lord's Prayer cut out in Hebrew, and it lights from the base of the table, and the Lord's Prayer shows up in a rainbow. The lighting turns to a rainbow. So the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew turns to a rainbow on the table that's in that container. And on the top it says I am that I am, right side up and upside down, and that turns to a rainbow. So that container that went up to Grand Junction, the great meeting, inside the container there's the Lord's Prayer. That's what the Lord told me to put on the table, and on that table is the Bible, the Word of God opened. That's what he told me to put there. And it ended up on Rainbow Drive 154, and the Lord told me it's very significant. Look up the meaning of the number. So the number one, again, it means the number one is of great significance, be it in any language. It always stands for unity. The Bible, it is written, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one Lord. Thus, number one is the number of the God, and the Bible denies the existence of another God. Okay, now the number 54. So the second part of the address, 154. And the Lord said, look it up. I typed into Google biblical significance of the number 54, and it brought up Isaiah 54. And as I read Isaiah 54, I just about fell out of my seat because I told everybody that the container represents the New Jerusalem. That's why the Lord told me to write Revelation 3:10 on it. Revelation 3:10 says, because you've kept the word of my patience and have not denied my name, I will keep you from the hour of testing that shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell on the earth. And I will give you the name of my God and the city of my God, which is the New Jerusalem, which means new city of peace, which comes down out of heaven. So I open up to Isaiah 54. It says, Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. So one's a spiritual family, one's an earthly family. And let me show you where this led. For the Maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called. Look right here in verse 9. Now, again, where did that first container end up? Out of all the addresses in the United States, it ended up at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir, with a rainbow inside the container. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, that's called a rainbow, so I have sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills shall be removed. That's interesting because the container is looking out at the mountains and the hills. It's down in the valley. There's a lot of mesas, but it's in Colorado, looking out towards the mountains and the hills. For as the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, look at this. But my kindness shall not depart from thee. Read this for yourself. Read it out loud. Everybody read this out loud. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that hath mercy on you, that had mercy on thee. Okay, so rainbow, I have sworn that the waters of Noah should not go over the earth. That's a rainbow. And then he's making a covenant of peace right here. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed. By the way, Jesus, Ephesians 2, he himself is our peace, who has broken down the middle wall of partition. His purpose was to create one new man from the two, thus making peace. Okay, so let me show you the name Casimir. Rainbow and Casimir. Casimir, from a Polish royal name and saint's name, Kazimierz, of Slavic origin, meaning proclamation of peace. So the street that container went to is rainbow, covenant of, a covenant from God, and proclamation of peace. And that's what the container represented. I showed you all that tons of times before it ever left. I said this represents the bride of Christ, the new Jerusalem. The word Jerusalem means city of peace. Jerusalem, city of peace. So the name Casimir means proclamation of peace. Alternatively, perhaps someone who destroys the opponent's prestige and glory during battle. Wow. So that's where the other container ended up. Remember the Boeing commercial I showed you yesterday? Let's watch it let's just watch it. Okay, let's watch it.
All second stage tanks now pressurized. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so you remember the Boeing commercial that I'm sitting in the airplane chairs. By the way, I've got to remove these sheepskins. They go out in the container now. Last night, after I, was going through the comments, I sat here in front of this computer again and I prayed. I'm like, Lord, is this really it? I mean, are we really getting ready to leave? And I had YouTube open, so I thought I'd, clean up the comments. Sometimes I get some ugly comments, so I was going through the comments and everything was pretty good except for one guy, and I was like, oh, okay. So I got rid of that one comment and blocked him, and then I thought, you know what? I think I'll just check out my news feed. And all of a sudden I heard in my spirit, "Time for Me to Fly" by REO Speedwagon. Let me show you what happened. So I open up YouTube and I'll do just like I did. I opened up a YouTube link. Well, I opened up another search bar because I had one window open, and I typed in REO Speedwagon, time for me to fly, right there. When I clicked on it, there's a whole lot of REO Speedwagon, time for me to fly. Look how many there are. Okay, so just there's a lot of time for me to fly videos. And I was going down and I was going to click on this one that says, this is from an album called You Can Tune a Piano, but You Can't Tune a Fish. It's like kind of a joke. I get it. Tuning bar between two things. Anyway, so I was going to click on this one. And then I thought about clicking on another one. But then I clicked on this one right here. And here it is. And as I sat watching this video and listening to it, I'm sorry, as I sat here, watching it and listening to it, again, I just about fell out of my seat. And you tell me, I mean, pretend you're me. Just pretend you're me. You've already done these other two containers. You've already done the first container that's at Rainbow and Casimir and Grand Junction, the Great Meeting. You've already started on this one. You've done the floor, you've done the doors, and the Lord's told you what it represents. Just like the children of Israel had to go into the Red Sea, a door opened up, they went across, and the door closed. Well, the Lord told me to make the floors and they're crimson red. Just like Joshua and the children of Israel crossing into the promised land, they had to go over the Jordan. The word Jordan means to descend, and it also means red cleansing. Isn't that wild? And so they had to go from one side to the other. Again, the container, you go from one end to the other. It's got a red floor. Very odd, don't you think? That's kind of just bizarre. It's unbelievable. So anyway, as I was sitting here, I heard in my spirit, time for me to fly. I looked up YouTube and there are several choices. This is the one that I clicked on. I just showed you the Boeing commercial. What does it show? It shows a rocket ship taking off. It shows the capsule, removing from the boosters in space. It shows airplanes taking off, and all kinds of takeoffs, right? Well, so time for me to fly. Let me show you what's on this thing. Watch this. So if y'all want to look at this yourself at the 2-minute 45-second mark, right here, watch what happens. I'm going to turn the volume all the way down. And I'm going to turn the speed on very slow. And now watch. Watch what comes up behind him. Right now. Right now. Just pause it. See all the red? Look what's going off right here. Oh, a rocket ship launching. Oh my gosh, that's kind of weird. Do you think that's kind of weird? I think that's impossible. That's a miracle. Let's go to the 3-minute 25-second mark. So let's go to the 3-minute 25-second mark right here. Oh wow, there's a space capsule detaching or leaving a fuselage, maybe of the space shuttle or something. Again, same thing as the Boeing commercial. There it goes. Look at that. Weird. That is just impossible, isn't it? Let's go to the 4-minute 36 mark. I just almost could not believe what I was looking at. 4-minute 36. I went, what is that? Oh, wow. You know what that is? That's looks like New York. The skyline of New York reflecting in the water. Look at that. That looks like New York City reflecting in the water. Well, that's weird. What was I called as a harbinger about? Well, what's in the other container? Oh, Jeremiah 51. Babylon, the waves have come up over Babylon, and she is utterly consumed by fire. Wow, now I'm watching Time for Me to Fly video because I heard it in my spirit. The one that I picked just happens to have rocket ships taking off, rocket ships separating from their boosters, and now it's got New York with a mirror reflection right side up, upside down, and look how red it is. Kind of like it's burning. Well, it gets better. There it is. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Sure looks like New York. Now, let's go to the 5 minute 10-second mark. 5 minute 7-second mark. Okay, watch your screen. We just saw what looked like New York. Now everything's on fire. Oh, you mean like Jeremiah 51, the waves that come up over Babylon? And she is utterly consumed by fire. Wow, that's what's in the other container. Do you think the Lord's trying to tell us something? Let's see. Keep watching. So the whole thing turns to flames. And then at the very end, here we go. Look at that. These two angel wings. Now I know that this is a record label. This is a record and this is labeled like an LP, vinyl. But look at this line that's going through. It almost looks like a planet on its axis and it's flipping. Watch. Oh, wow. And then it's got angel wings that are like spinning and leaving. I wonder if that's possible that that could happen while I'm asking the Lord, is it really time to go? And I hear, look up Time for Me to Fly. And the one that I look up has all the elements as a Boeing commercial as well as New York being destroyed by fire. What do you think? What do you think? It's like, now here's what I'm doing these days. Now, I usually share these kind of things with my very close friend Kat or Billy and, Michael and Dave. And those are really the only real group of people that I share these kind of things that happen all the time. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I just don't do videos on it. But now the Lord's telling me, show everybody. That's what happened. You just saw it. So anyway, now I'm gonna load this up, and then I'm gonna load up the 3-hour video, and hopefully this screencast-o-matic's working. This thing's driving me nuts. Okay, guys, God bless. It looks like it's here, huh?